Welcome back. Today, we're diving right into the exact requirements for becoming a commissioned notary in the Commonwealth of Virginia. If you're looking to process important documents, we're talking everything from real estate closings in Richmond to business contracts down in Virginia Beach. You need to know exactly what the state expects of you before you ever start stamping. In this explainer, we're focusing specifically on the financial and regulatory hurdles, or as you'll soon find out, the surprising lack of them when it comes to surety bonds in the Old Dominion state. Whether you plan to operate out by the Blue Ridge Mountains or in the busy, DC-adjacent corridors of Northern Virginia, getting this right from day one is absolutely crucial for your business. Now, here's a number that might surprise you: $0. That is the mandatory surety bond amount for Virginia notaries. Exactly zero. It's a massive departure from how a lot of other states handle their professional licensing. In places like neighboring Maryland or Washington, D.C., securing a state-mandated surety bond is literally step one. Those bonds are designed to provide a strict financial guarantee to the public before a notary even begins their term. But if you're setting up shop in Virginia, you aren't legally required to put down a single cent for a state surety bond to get your official commission. It's a really unique regulatory stance that puts a ton of immediate trust in you, the applicant. And we're not talking about some clever loophole here. This is written directly into the law. Virginia Code Section 47.1-3 confirms the state simply does not require a mandatory surety bond for the commissioning process. Virginia actually sits alongside 21 other states that have decided a financial bond isn't a strict prerequisite for the public trust placed in a notary. So, legally speaking, the Virginia Secretary of the Commonwealth is going to grant your standard commission without you ever having to interact with a surety provider for a mandatory bond. So that begs the obvious question, right? If there's no mandatory bond, what exactly does the Virginia Secretary of the Commonwealth actually demand from applicants? Because let's be real, they don't just hand out a notary stamp to anyone who asks. Notaries serve as the critical first line of defense against real estate and identity fraud in the state. Because that role carries immense legal gravity, the state still has to rigorously ensure that the folks verifying identities and witnessing signatures are reputable, qualified, and trustworthy residents. Well, instead of relying on a bonding company to vet you, Virginia uses a direct administrative process. You've got to submit a meticulously completed notary public application and pay a standard application fee to the state. Crucially, you must prove you're a legal resident or eligible to work in Virginia, and you have to pass a background check to confirm you have 0 felony convictions. Also, it's worth noting that if you plan to become an electronic notary to perform remote online notarizations, which is actually a groundbreaking practice that Virginia pioneered nationwide, you'll need to submit a completely separate application and meet some extra, very strict technology standards once your traditional commission is fully approved. And here's a quick pro tip. Always check directly with the Virginia Secretary of the Commonwealth regarding any newly implemented testing or education requirements. The core requirements of residency and a clean record are pretty standard today, sure, but the regulatory landscape is constantly shifting. Changes in digital security laws or new mandates passed during the legislative sessions down in Richmond could suddenly introduce mandatory seminars or standardized exams before you can pick up your stamp. Taking just 5 minutes to verify the current rules on their official website can honestly save you weeks of frustrating application delays. All right, let's look at the timeline of your official commitment. A standard Virginia Notary commission spans a full 4-year term. Once you've successfully navigated the application, paid your fee, and been sworn in, your commission is officially granted in year 1. You then have several years of active service to build your business and serve your local community, but you've got to keep a close eye on year 4. Your commission does not auto-renew. You will need to proactively go through the application process all over again to maintain your active status. Keep in mind, operating on an expired commission in the Commonwealth is a serious legal offense that can entirely invalidate important documents, so tracking this timeline is absolutely critical. Which brings us to a pretty fascinating dilemma. Since the Commonwealth doesn't force you to carry a bond to protect the public, how should you voluntarily protect your own livelihood? Think about it. You're handling legally binding paperwork, high-stakes real estate closings, and incredibly sensitive identity verifications. Human error is absolutely inevitable. Without a state mandate forcing a baseline of financial protection, you're essentially stepping out onto a high wire without a safety net, unless, of course, you actively choose to build one yourself. To figure this out, we really need to understand the difference between 2 major types of protection. A surety bond protects the public, while errors and omissions, or E&O insurance, protects you. This is vital for first-time notaries to grasp. Imagine a cleverly forged signature slips past you during a rushed mortgage closing in Northern Virginia, and the aggrieved party decides to sue for damages. If you make a mistake and someone loses money, a surety bond steps in to pay that person back. But here's the catch. The surety company will then come directly to you to be repaid. It's not insurance for your bank account. E&O insurance, on the other hand, is your personal shield. In that forgery lawsuit scenario, E&O covers your legal defense and settlement costs, keeping your personal finances completely safe. Then there's what we call a voluntary bond. This is a strategic financial protection that many Virginia professionals choose to purchase solely to signal trustworthiness and instill deep confidence in their clients. Just because Virginia doesn't mandate a bond under Code Section 47.1-3 doesn't mean you can't secure one anyway. By actively choosing to purchase a voluntary bond, you're essentially telling your clients, hey, I take my role so seriously that I've secured financial backing to protect you even when the state didn't force me to. It is a massive marketing advantage and an incredible tool for building a highly reputable business. Ultimately, understanding these voluntary options lets you build a rock-solid foundation for your business throughout your 4-year term. And the best part? You don't have to choose just one. Many successful Virginia notaries pair E&O insurance to protect their personal assets from lawsuits with a voluntary surety bond to project the utmost professionalism and safeguard the public. It totally transforms you from a standard state commission notary into a fully backed, highly secure professional. When you're pitching your mobile notary services to major local real estate agencies or busy law firms, being able to say you are both insured and bonded is often the exact thing that closes the deal over your competitors. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one crucial thought to consider before you submit your final paperwork to the Virginia Secretary of the Commonwealth. Are you truly protected? Meeting the state's minimum requirements, the application, the fee, the clean record, is really just the starting line. Thriving in this role for your full 4-year term requires foresight. Ask yourself, if a complex notarization goes sideways tomorrow, are you fully prepared to handle the financial and legal fallout completely on your own? If you want to ensure you have the right protections in place, you can take the next step right now. Get your notary surety bond quote in minutes. Apply online, fast approval, all 50 states at buysuretybonds.com.